Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back on our Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 building techniques when it comes to season 8. And I also did a video like this back in season 7. And if you guys haven't seen that video yet, it did really well. I think it has like 200,000 views or something like that. So it did very well, and I would also recommend checking that video out if you guys haven't already seen it yet. So this is going to be sort of like a part 2. I'm going to show you guys 5 different tips that I think are really important, and also some of the top tips that you're going to need in this game to be very good at building and just to be a dominant builder at this game. And as well, in this video I have a gameplay as well. I have a 26 kill gameplay I had in squads, because I know a lot of guys want to see my gameplays. So I'm going to have that 26 kill squad game after I give you guys my top 5 tips. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. All you need to do this is go over to the item shop, hit X, go to support a creator, and then type in my code, and my code is Young Humor. And once you type that in, all you have to do is accept it, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. So make sure you guys do that. It really does help me out. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here are going to be my top 5 tips for Season 8, and so the first tip that I want to give you guys when it comes to building, and what you want to learn how to do, is practice jumping off the sides, and exactly what I'm doing here. And basically I'm placing a cone, or you can even place a floor, and you want to practice jumping around the sides. And this is something that I do almost every single game, but you have to be really careful, because if you don't have it down in game, you know, you could slip off and you could take a lot of fall damage if you're not careful. But for me, in most of my games, I'm running redeploy gliders, so even if I do mess it up, I'm going to be at least catching myself with my redeploy glider, so I'm not going to be taking any fall damage at all. So when it comes to doing this, you know, there's a few different ways to go about it. But the first tip I can give you guys is you kind of want to jump when you're going towards the side, and you also want to jump when you're going towards the middle. You don't want to wait till you're pretty much at the top, or you're going to hit your head on the cone and you're not going to be able to make the jump. And if you do it too early, you're not going to be able to hit the jump at all. So the best place to jump really is in the middle. And when you're doing this, when you go for the jump, you want to be as far towards the right side as you can. So you want to jump when you're in the middle of the ramp and when you're on the far edge of it, and you're going to be able to make the jump pretty much every single time. And another tip I can give you guys when it comes to doing this, and especially when you first learn it, and when you jump around the side and you go to place your floor, the best tip I can give you guys is you want to be looking straight down, because once you're looking straight down, it's going to be a whole lot easier to place, and you're going to be able to place it quicker than if you're kind of looking a little bit more up or even just parallel. So when you're doing this, you want to look straight down, and you're going to be able to do this pretty much every single time. And these are one of the things that just takes a little bit of practice to get down, but once you have it down, you should have it pretty good. And when you make this jump, there's a few variants you can do off of this. You can do what I'm doing here when you place the floor, and then you place the ramp above you and below you, and you ramp off like there. Or in games, what usually I do is, so I would jump around the side, and as soon as I jump around the side, I'm going to catch myself, and then I'm going to place the walls to my left and right, and then go for high ground. And I'm going to be doing something like that, or what I just showed you, when, say you're in a situation where there's a guy above you, he places a cone, or maybe even places a floor above you, and then I just jump around the side and I go from high ground from there. And so the second tip I'm going to give you guys, and this really is a simple one, it's basically just a simple cone edit, and this is super effective when you're going for high ground, or maybe you're just going up the side of a hill and you know there's going to be guys above you and you don't want to get lasered. And this is something that I really don't have to go into too much detail, because once you get it down, it is pretty fairly easy, and there really isn't too many tips I can give you guys when it comes to doing this, other than just try to do it as quick as you can, because if you wait too long, then it's going to be very hard to go for the cone edit. And I know this is a pretty simple building tip, but honestly, it's got to be in my top 5 because it's just super effective and something that I use every single game. And so my third building tip is, when you go for high ground, or where you're already on high ground and you want to cut someone off, you don't want to just use a floor or just use a pyramid. You want to use a floor and a pyramid, and I'm going to explain exactly why you'd want to do this. So if you're going against anyone who's a better than average player, if you place a floor over top of them, every single time they're going to place a cone, because that is going to be the best way to counter it, like I'm showing here. And this is something that's really important to get down, especially if you're playing like a pop-up cup or maybe even a scrim lobby where you're going against, you know, better players. You're gonna have to be doing something like that if you want to catch them off guard and be able to go for the shot. And really the only counter to that is they either have to run away or they have to go for a challenge. So if you know they're weak, if you go for something like this, or maybe you're just trying to get the first shot off, you're almost guaranteed to get the shot off if you're quick enough with it. And in the gameplay I have later in this video, this is a tip, or this is a building technique that I actually used to kill one of the players. It was about halfway through the game, and I killed a soccer skin with it. It was a really good play, and I was able to finish off that player pretty easily with that trick. And when it comes to practicing this building technique, there really isn't just too much you can do. I mean, just try to practice editing a floor and a pyramid, or you can also try practicing it when you're going up a ramp. That would also be another really good way to practice it. But really, it's not really about going up on your ramp and using it. It's more like just to block someone off and then go for the shot right afterwards. And for the fourth tip on this list, this is something that is pretty underrated in my opinion, I think, and that's basically double 90s but the opposite way. And this is something that I do in a lot of games, just because if I'm in a build fight and I'm turning around and I'm already on the right side of my ramp, and of course in that situation I can also do it off the left side, but it is going to cost me a little bit of time. So having it down and having practiced double 90s the opposite way is really going to help me out, and it's going to allow me to get high ground even easier on players, because when I get stuck on the right side, I'm at least going to be able to do the double 90s and I don't have to run all the way to the left side and do them. So for that reason, this is going to be the fourth tip on my list. I think these are really important to practice for games, and it's really going to help you guys out in build fights and just maintaining and getting high ground back easier. And for the fifth and final tip on this list, I think it's really important, is the double ramp, floor, and wall rush. And I think this is really important, especially if you're going off a turn off a 90 and you're on high ground, you're going up against squads. It's a 1v4. You're going to have to, you know, have enough protection in your ramps not to get shot out very easily. And as well, if you're building up to place a launch pad and you don't have gliders and you don't want to get shot out. So doing something like this is very important, and I also think it's very crucial to winning a lot more games, just because it's going to prevent you from getting shot out, and it's very hard to shoot someone who's ramping like this down without taking a massive amount of time to shoot you out. And when it comes to actually doing this technique, and it is a little bit of a tricky one to get down at first, but when you're doing this, you go from left to right with the ramps, and then you go back the other way and you place your floors, and then you lastly place your walls, and that's the best technique to do it. And it's hard to explain exactly what the motion is, but you can kind of see it's kind of like a zigzag. I go left to right and then right to left, and I go back and forth, and every time that I go back, I switch between my materials. So I switch between my ramps to all the way to my floors and then to my walls, and that's basically how I do it. It really takes a lot of practice to get it, and there really isn't, you know, too many solid tips I can give you guys when it comes to learning how to do that. It's just you have to do it in that order, and as well, it's kind of like a zigzag motion, so you kind of have to get the rhythm down on your own. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. I still have the gameplay that I'm going to show you guys in this video, and it's a very sick gameplay. Like I said, it's a 26 kill gameplay I had in squads, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy this gameplay. So with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys liked it, and if you could, drop a like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.